Hi everybody, Kerry here at the North East Autism Society, and I'm with Tony from the Life Science Centre today, and we're going to be making some spinning tops. So Tony, can you tell us a little bit about what we need to do?
Yeah, so I thought I'd make you a little video so you could see some of the spinning tops in action first of all. So if you take a look at this, you can see what they can do.
What I noticed about the spinning tops is they were all very different. There were different colours, different sizes. Some of them spun differently as well. What kind of spinning top are we going to make today?
So I didn't want to tell you exactly how you had to do it this time. I wanted to give you the opportunity to be creative and to try and solve some of the problems you might encounter along the way, and encourage you to take on the challenge. But I will give you some hints and tips and give you some ideas about what you might like to experiment with. So to start off with, there's a few different things that you will need. Lots of these things you might have around the house. And they're needed for different jobs, but quite often there's more than one thing that you might be able to choose. So first thing you'll need is an axle. So you could use a felt tip pen or perhaps pencils. Then you're going to need the body of your spinning top, so probably something round if you can, or something you can cut to a round shape. So I found some old CDs, yogurt pots, cereal box card that I could cut out, paper plate. Then you'll need some things to weight it with, because sometimes to get the top to balance you need to add some extra weight. I had a look around for little objects. Just be very careful if there's any small people in your house, make sure they don't get hold of these tiny objects. But I found some Scrabble tiles, some little nuts, some drawing pins, some paper fasteners, and some blue tack. You might also find paper clips around your house perhaps, or counters or pennies that you could use. And then you need some bits and pieces to stick things together. So I found it useful to have a pencil and ruler, some scissors, some sticky tape, some blue tack, things to join things together. And of course you need some paper as well, because what you might have noticed about my spinning tops is they doodle as they spin, so they draw. So you'll need some paper too.
So are you going to show us then, Tony, how to make these step by step?
Yeah, I'd love to, and you can join in with me. So the first thing we'll need is the axle. So the part that you're going to do the twisty spinning with. So I've got a felt tip pen here.
Okay, I've got a felt tip, but mine's a lot chunkier than yours and a lot smaller. Okay.
Ooh, well, this is what's really interesting. When you use different materials, we might see different effects, so that's great. Then we'll need something to be the body, so the round part of our spinning top. Have you got anything that's round?
I've got some sellotape.
Okay, so we need something that you can attach to the axle to spin. So perhaps, could you draw around the sellotape?
Yeah, so I've got some card as well. So what I was thinking of doing is drawing around the sellotape to go onto the card, and then I can cut it out.
Brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. So again, just be very careful when you're using your scissors and ask a grown-up for help if you need to. But I'm going to draw around this. I've made a couple to stick together so that it's a little bit thicker. So I've got a few of them here that I might join together. So I'm going to do that with just here.
Yeah, will that make it a bit tougher, Tony?
Yeah, it should do. It also gives it a little bit more weight, which helps it balance. And I'm just going to stick mine together with some little bits of tape.
Okay. Yep, I've got some tape as well.
Great, and now we need to find the center of the circle. And there's a few different ways to do this. You might have a pair of compasses at home that you could use, and if you use those to draw your circle, you'll have the middle as a dot in the center already, so that's really handy. But if you haven't got one, there are a few other ways you could do it. I've made myself this little set square, which is just 3 strips of card, and I've joined them together, and I've made sure that there's a 45-degree angle here. So this goes straight through the middle here, so it's 45 degrees. And I can then use that to find the center of my circle by lining up the edges of the circle with the 2 outside arms. I can then draw a line across.
Okay.
And twist it round again and keep doing that until I find where the lines meet.
Now I've used a ruler for mine, Tony, and all I did, mine might not be as accurate as yours because I just tried to work out where the kind of the center was, but then measured the diameter of the circle and then put kind of a spot in halfway across the diameter. So mine might not be as accurate, but I only have a ruler, so we'll give it a try and we'll see what happens. Because that's what it's all about.
I like that you were applying your maths there, thinking about the diameter of the circle.
Yeah.
So once we've done that, we will need to make a hole in through the card. So this you need to be careful with as well, because you need something sharp. So you might use a pin, or I'm going to see if I can use my pencil to make that hole. I've also got a blob of blue tack that I've put down on the desk so that I don't damage the table. I'm just going to put that underneath and then press through with my pencil.
Okay.
And then I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, and then I need to make sure it's just the right size for my pen that is going to come through as well. Okay. Great. So then you can take the lid off your felt tip pen, put it onto your paper and give it a spin. Woo!
Right. Okay, so I'll try and spin mine. So Tony, mine keeps falling over a little bit, and I'm wondering if it's because of the way I measured it. Maybe the hole isn't right in the center. Maybe that's the problem.
Okay, well, it could be, but there are other ways. There are ways around this and ways we could try fixing it.
Okay.
So some of the spinners I made, I'd added weights to try and help it balance. So if you've got paper clips or blue tack or pennies or little Scrabble tiles like I had, you could try sticking those around the edge to help it, help balance it out. And sometimes sometimes it makes a difference how far up or down the axle the body is as well. So you might want to try changing the height it is as well up the axle.
So would you suggest I go a little bit further up or down?
Oh, you could try both and see what works best. It's all about experimenting.
Because I've never made. Yeah, I'm experimenting with this because I've never made one of these before, Tony. So we're gonna give this a try. So I've added some paper clips. Let's see what happens. Oh, now that spun for a little bit longer, but I think I'm going to try and add a little bit of blue tack, see if that helps.
Great. So if you have a problem where the body is falling down on the axle or going wonky, you could try adding a little bit of blue tack to hold it in place. So I've made a little blue tack sausage and wrapped it round like this to hold it a bit more securely.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that works a little bit better. I'm going to try and push it down closer to the bottom of the nib actually and see if that helps.
Oh, I like that. Give it a try.
I mean, it's good to investigate, isn't it, with these things and see. I bet you some of our young people can do a good job of this though.
Yeah, and it's something you can take your time with, and it doesn't matter if it doesn't work first time, because each time it doesn't go as you plan, you can learn something from it.
Yeah, well, I think already I've learned that, Tony, that mine definitely needed some more weight on, and I think the axle needed to be further down the pen as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what I'll do is keep having a try this afternoon and see if I can make it work a bit better and maybe post some videos perhaps.
That would be great. Yeah, I'd love to see how it works in the end.
Because yours is spinning really well, isn't it?
It is, it's spinning really nicely. Sometimes though, when it doesn't spin as nicely, you get more interesting drawings. So I noticed your page was filled with all sorts of interesting shapes that had come from the spinning top. Whereas mine had kind of spun on one spot and then looped out. Ah, nice. So you might find that, yeah, the more times you try it, the more interesting doodles you get as well.
Of course, and then you could use lots of different colours as well, couldn't you? And make a nice piece of art with it, which would be lovely.
Yeah, that would be great.
How do spinning tops work? What's the science behind it?
That's a great question. So you've actually already been exploring some of the science. There are a few things that affect how well a spinning top works. The first is how far up or down the axle the disc is, the size of the disc, and how much mass you've added to it. So the extra weight you've added all affect the forces that are involved here. And all of these increase the angular momentum of the spinning top, and that's the force that keeps it spinning. As long as angular momentum is greater than gravity, it'll keep spinning. But as there's friction between the spinning top and the page, gradually it loses angular momentum and gravity becomes greater than the force of angular momentum, so it falls over and stops spinning. So you have to get the forces just right for it to work.
So I think I didn't have my forces balanced right, did I? Because mine kept falling over. So I need to work on that. I need to see if I can do a little bit better.
Yeah, so you need to change those things to get a bit more angular momentum to get your top spinning.
Great. Well, I think some of our young people will love this activity. So what we'd like you to do is try it at home, take some videos and photographs, send them in. And don't forget, you can be as creative as you want with this one. You can draw pictures on them or colour them in, put a little bit glitter on them. We know some of our young people love glitter. And yeah, we'd just love to see what you do. So we'll see you all very soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.